Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. And it's already, yeah, it is Wednesday. It has been a long week and it's only Wednesday, right? But we've only got what, 3 days left counting today. So not quite 3 days left in this month, right? It's going to be October soon. I'm ready to move on. I'm actually ready to get on into something different. It's time for a change, right? Anyway, I hope you're having a good week. Hope you're having a good day so far. I know it's still early, but I hope you're having a good day so far anyway, right? And so I'll just tell you, Chris has been sick. Last night was another long night. It wasn't real bad. It's just he coughs a lot, so I can't sleep real good when he coughs like that. But I got some sleep, so it wasn't bad. And so when I got up this morning, I had all these things going through my mind, of course, and I've already given him breathing treatments and antibiotics and other homeopathic stuff this morning and more juice that I made last night. So I was all busy doing all this. I got one article done, another one almost done for a client, and so I've just it's been a busy morning. And as I was thinking about it, and as I was getting around, I just started thinking about this. When I got up this morning, long night or not, God's grace is still sufficient, right? And so I started going back in my mind over some of the scriptures that we've talked about over this almost 3 years, 2.5 years now, right? I just went back in my mind over some of the scriptures that Jesus said, I'm leaving you my peace. Not the type of peace the world leaves, my kind of peace. And that peace is still here. When I got up this morning, tired, ready to go back to bed before I already had my 2 cups of coffee that I normally have my second cup after the devotions. I already had 2 cups of coffee this morning. I already had all my morning ration, right? So I'll have to adjust and have an extra cup later maybe. But his peace is still there, even on the rough mornings, on the rough nights, on the smooth mornings and the smooth nights, whatever's going on in our lives, he doesn't ever withdraw his peace. His peace, and that's what we started this whole devotion on 2.5 years ago, was talking about his peace. That peace is still here. He didn't pull the plug on it. He didn't say never mind. He didn't say it ran out at midnight. He didn't say, well, come back around. Maybe I'm going to ration it because there's not enough to go around. And no, his peace is still here. When he told Paul, my grace is sufficient, what he didn't add to that was even into 2020, when you're going to have a pandemic and everything's just going to look crazy for a while, and even into 2021, when you just don't even know, it's time of uncertainty. Is it better? Is it not? Is it worse? I don't know. Even into 2020, where the economy crashes and the world has gone crazy, and it's just a crazy, crazy time to live, and immorality is just rampant and celebrated. He didn't say, my grace lasts just till then. My grace, he said, is sufficient for whatever we're going through, wherever we are, whatever stage of life we are, whether the little maintenance man here yesterday was switching out the dishwasher, and we were talking he was here quite a while because it was quite the job, and so we got some time to talk, and his God's grace is sufficient for me as I'm entering the latter years of my life, and for him as he's starting a family and just getting married and just coming up. And so God's grace is still sufficient, and for anybody in between, and for anybody past me and anybody just getting born, God's grace is sufficient. His peace is still here. His love is still here. And there's several psalms that just reiterates that his mercy endures forever. So we didn't get up this morning lacking anything. And even if we woke up tired, yes, I did. Even if we woke up tired, even if we woke up washed out, if we woke up into uncertainty, even if we woke up into what is this day going to bring, even if we woke up to a bad phone call or a good phone call or an in-between phone call or no phone call, all of those can carry weight in our emotions and take them any which way, right? At any given time, any given day. It doesn't matter. His grace is still sufficient. His love can't it can't grow weaker. It doesn't dissipate over time. It doesn't wane. It doesn't leak out, right? His love is still here. His mercy still endures forever. And I don't know which psalm that is, but there's one of them that it just says that over and over and over. all throughout the psalm. Here's one of them is in Psalm 118. He says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endures forever." And we could say, I think, without being in error, His mercy endures forever, His love endures forever, His grace is sufficient forever, because He doesn't have a time limit on anything. And He's the only one that knows when time ends. He knew when time began. Time itself, he didn't set up the measure. We figured out a way to measure time, right? So that we could get organized. It was probably a super analytical people that did that, right? I'm so sorry. But divided it up into chunks, you know, so that we could manage it, so that we knew what we could do and we could figure out when to meet one another at different times and things like that, right? But God knew when time began and He knows when it's going to end. But His mercy is going to last past time. His mercy was there before He said in the beginning, before He said, "Let there be light." His mercy was there. His grace was there. His love was there. His presence was there. Everything He is in totality and completeness was there before He said, "Let there be light." And it's still there in 2022. So 4, 6, 8,000, however many millions of years you think it's been, however long you think it's been since God said, "Let there be light." It doesn't matter, because His grace is still sufficient. Whether it's been millions of years in your thinking, or 4,000 years in your thinking, or 6,000 years, or anywhere in between, His grace is still sufficient. His mercy still endures forever. Listen to this a little bit. This is just a little bit. I know there's a psalm or two that just, it's one. It was one that they did. The leader would say something, and then everybody would say afterwards, "His mercy endures forever." And they would say the first part, and then the crowd would answer. We did that in the Methodist church, and a responsive reading, I think, is what it was called. And it was really cool, because you got to be part of it, and the leader would say something, and then you would say, you had a response. "Yes, we will believe, we will trust in the Lord our God, who leads us into battle, leads us into victory," or whatever. And so that these psalms were done similarly to this. And this one, I don't know where that one psalm is, because it's a really long one. Maybe it's 37 or so. I'm not sure. Anyway, but this one says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endures forever. His grace, His love, His whatever you want to fill in the blank of His power lasts forever. His salvation lasts forever. His being He lasts forever." Right? Then it says, "Let Israel now say, His mercy endures forever. Let the house of Aaron now say," that's the priest, "His mercy endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord," that's all of us, right? "Now say, His mercy endures forever." And that's just one section of 118, Psalm 118. But we can encourage ourselves with it. See, another reason we want to study, because when we do get discouraged, and it's going to happen, I hate to break it to you, but it's going to happen. And we all, I get myself together some mornings and come on here to do the devotion, and sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say from the time I get up out from under the laptop, or my tabletop desk thingy, and walk in here. Sometimes I'm blank. Sometimes I'm discouraged. Sometimes I don't know what to say. But once I get here and start talking, man, I was like, this was really good. I encouraged myself. That's a good deal, right? And so we all hit those spots where we feel, even if it's for a moment, a despair. We don't have to live there. That's the good news. The good news is we don't have to live there. Why? Because His mercy endures forever. Because when we got up this morning, and I called this "Still Here," when we got up this morning, His peace was still here. When we go to bed tonight, His peace will still be here. And when we get up tomorrow morning, His peace will still be. There's no expiration date. He's never going to unplug it. He's never going to withdraw it. He's never going to say, "Well, I had peace yesterday." If you had to be here by 3, if you didn't get here by 3, you don't get peace today. No, His peace will still be there, whether we acknowledge it and accept it and let it reign in our hearts or not, right? His mercy is still here. His grace. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to that scripture real quick, because that was the one that I needed this morning. Was the one in 2 Corinthians here, where God specifically told Paul, "My grace is sufficient." And here's what Paul said. Paul said, "I have a thorn in the flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, or torment me, or pick at me, or punch at me, lest I be exalted above measure. Concerning this, I pleaded with the Lord." That means I begged. right? Paul, now this is our great apostle of the faith. He's going, God, please take this thing from me. He said, 3 times I pleaded with the Lord that it might depart from me. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. And here's the next part. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. When we realize we are weak, we can walk in his strength. When we realize we don't have it all, we don't have it all together. We can't manufacture peace ourselves. We can't manufacture mercy ourselves. We can't manufacture his love. We can't get away from it either, right? Then it is made perfect in that moment of what we would perceive as weakness. It doesn't mean that meekness doesn't necessarily mean weakness either, but the meek, those who realize their need for him, those who realize, until we realize that we don't have the strength to make it without him, we're going to remain weak, right? Whether we realize it or not, we need him. And I just want to encourage you today that when you woke up this morning, his peace is still here. His grace is still sufficient. His mercy still endures forever. Through today too. He didn't say every day except Wednesday or every day except September 28th, 2022. Every day except. You don't get it till noon. You only get it till noon. There's no stipulations on his grace, on his mercy, on his peace. So just embrace it and enjoy it and let it carry you. Let him carry you through today while you just peace out. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.